was giving fits. It would not work. It would not, let me adjust this. It wouldn't turn my camera on. So I had to switch over to my phone. Let me plug my microphone in real quick. This way, we'll try it on the phone and see how it goes. I didn't make a new video this weekend because my kids are out of town. And so I was just spending some time with my wife, but I thought, hey, it's a good time to just do a quick live video, maybe answer some questions and see what you guys had out there. So I don't know, since the original live stream didn't work, we'll see how many people jump on this call. And I've not ever done it on my phone before, so I'm trying to figure out how I can see comments here. But be thinking of any questions that you do have. If you have a notebook question, a journaling question, it doesn't even have to be about that, just anything in general. And while you're thinking of a question, let me ask you a question. And then I'm also going to pull this up on my computer to see if I can see it on here. I don't think I will be able to, but here's a question. Does Chick-fil-A have a K in it? I don't think that it did. I keep seeing these videos about the Mandela effect, and I drove by Chick-fil-A earlier. There is a K in there, but even in my journal, literally the other day, I wrote something about going to Chick-fil-A, and I wrote C-H-I-C, because I've always thought it was chick without a K, but now I'm seeing chick with a K, and they were saying it's a Mandela effect. But let me know, does Chick-fil-A have a C, just a C, or a K? Just put a C or a K and clear this up, because it's something that I've been talking about with family and stuff. So I'm just curious. Hello from California. Hello, California. Hello from Texas. How do cow make milk? I don't understand the question. Let me see if I can scroll these. Speaking of notebooks, though, one thing that I did want to share with y'all is a notebook. Let me see if I can move this camera. There's a notebook that I haven't talked about in a while that I wanted to just revisit and show you really quickly. It's called the Finisher's Secret notebook, and they used to just make it in blue, but now you can actually get it in different colors. And when this is done, I'll put a link down below, because they actually gave me a coupon code that'll save you 10% off. But the cool thing about this journal, and I think this is actually the one that Gabe Bolt uses, if you're familiar with Gabe Bolt. You should be. He's got, like, I don't know, I think over 1 million subscribers now. But what this does is it allows you, because I always set up notebooks, you know, like I buy a blank one, and then, you know, I make videos and have different things showing how to set up a blank notebook. But there are people out there that don't have the patience to, they don't want to do that. Maybe you're someone who doesn't want to have to set it all up by yourself. So what the Finisher's Secret does is it's essentially set up for 3 months. And let me find the correct page, and I'll just show you on my phone here. So the idea behind the Finisher's Secret journal is it's kind of made like for entrepreneurial people or people that want to accomplish goals. So it gives you a place to put 3 different, what they call outcome goals. And so you set these 3 outcome goals, but what's cool about that is not only do they give you a habit tracker within the journal, but they also break it down. So once you set that up, you're gonna have a week 1 plan. And then every day, I'm trying to find a blank page instead of one I wrote on. So like here's a Thursday, for example. And every day, you've got a time block on one side, and then you also have an area to put a primary, secondary task, what else? Additional task, and you can check them off. And then you have the other side, which is just blank, and it's for notes and stuff. So I have made a video about this notebook in the past, the Finisher's Journal. I just wanted to talk about it again because I've been meaning to make a new video about it. And like I said, this one's blue, but they now have black and other colors as well. But if you're someone who doesn't want to go to the trouble to make lines and draw calendars or just set up a blank notebook, Finisher's Journal is really nice. They even give these two little tassels that say today and week. So you got two little markers where you can mark today, where you're at in the journal, and then, you know, what week you're on. It's just a neat one. And they gave me a coupon code to give you. If you want to try one and save 10%, then check them out. I'll put the link below because I don't think I did before we got this started. So let me pull up the comments and look through these questions here. I'm a big fan of you. Well, I appreciate that. I just bought the Finisher's Journal a couple weeks ago from your referral link. Okay, cool. I don't know if they still have it, but they had a limited stock. Well, I'll just pull it up while we're talking. They had a limited stock of white ones that were really cool. And maybe that's the link that you saw, but no, it looks like they're sold out of them. So right now you can get navy, black, brown. Oh no, they do have some white ones left. They're called Resilience Edition. I'll just put this link in the chat. How about that? That way if you want to see these. The coupon code is Carsonial. It's just my name in all caps. But I will put this real quick, and then if you have a question, go ahead and put a question in the chat, and we will do some Q&A. Oh, I can't because I'm on my phone, not the computer, so I can't put this in the chat. I have not done very many of these live things, and I wish that it would have worked on the computer because it would have made this a lot easier. But anyway, yeah, oh, white is out. I'm showing, it looks gray when you look at the bubble on their website. It looks gray, but if you click it, then it actually shows it in the white. And they are doing buy one, get one half off. So like I said, check them out. May not be for everyone. It's basically to get you through 3 months, to accomplish a goal, 3 goals in 3 months. And it's really cool. I want to get a new one in black, actually. Excuse me. What else was I going to tell y'all? I've still got a coupon code as well for my website. The code is consistent in all caps, and it will get you 20% off of the Bible Life OS, the Organized Life Method, or the Analog Reset. If you've been wanting to check one out and you want to save some money on it, use the code CONSISTENT and it'll get you 20% off any of the courses. So does anyone have a pending question, thought on notebooks, on journaling, on anything that we talk about on this channel? I'm going to scroll back through these. So hello to Jeff, hello to Danielle, Karam, and also let me know in the comments, does Chick-fil-A have a K in it or not? Is it a C, just a C, or is it a CK? Put a C or a K in the chat. And like I said, just put a question if you have one. I didn't really bring a whole lot to think about or to talk about just because if you missed it at the beginning, my kids are out of town on a trip this weekend. So that's why I didn't make a new video this weekend. I've just been enjoying a weekend, spending some time with my wife, going to eat out, had church this morning, and just kind of chilling, enjoying quiet weekend. So I will be probably making a video this week and another one next weekend. And if you have ideas for things that you want to see in videos, let me know and give me your thoughts and ideas. Oh, my video is mirrored. What are my thoughts on blending analog and digital? I don't use digital. The only thing that I do digitally pretty much is on my iPhone, I will use the Notes app to keep track of certain things. that's about the extent that I do digitally. I have companies reaching out to me a lot, trying to send me, I wish I could remember what the name of it was. It's a journal where you can write on it, and then you like take a picture and it saves it to a cloud. I've had several people offer to send me these things to make videos about, and I just reply and I'm like, hey, thanks for the offer, but I just like pen and paper. But at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that that's the only way. Like, the best way to do journaling, organization, everything like that is what works best for you. So if for you blending digital and analog works really well and you have made a good system that works for you, then that's great. Me personally, I just use paper notebooks because I like it. When I get on my phone, I tend to get distracted. I hate when I get on my phone and I'm there to do one thing, I do 5 other things instead, and I talk about that in the analog reset. Like, the phone is just created, it's designed the way it is on purpose to keep you addicted, to keep you on it. And just yesterday, I got stuck in a TikTok doom scroll for like an hour, and it's just, it is what it is. And so if I'm, sitting down to do something or think about something, I like to just have the pen in my hand and the notebook paper in front of me. So I personally don't really use anything digital, but I know a lot of people enjoy using Notion. I don't even know how Notion works. Like, and I don't care. Like, I just don't care. But for some people, I know they really enjoy it and they get a lot out of it. And so great, like, do that. But yeah, I just focus on the analog because, I don't know, like, I grew up in the country and everything was always old school, And so there's something about using a pen and paper that's just old school. I remember before the internet and all that, I had a cousin and, we would write letters back and forth. And I remember it was a long time ago because my cousin lives in Houston, and the Houston Rockets had won a championship, and he sent me like a Sports Illustrated in the mail, so I had a copy of, Houston winning or whatever. But it's just kind of nostalgic. The other day I was at Starbucks, and I was kind of stuck. I was there to just try and brainstorm and do some things, and I was really stuck. And you know what I ended up doing? I was just sitting there with a blank page like this, and I just started smelling the paper, because you know how, like, you'll be out somewhere and you'll smell a smell that triggers a memory. And this has happened to me. Like, sometimes I'll smell something that makes me think of 3rd grade, or maybe you smell something that makes you think of a house you used to live in, or your grandparents' house, or even cars have a smell. Like, Toyotas have a smell, Fords have a smell, Lexus has a smell. Every car, it seems to have its unique smell. But for me, even like just doing something as silly as smelling the paper, like, do you ever do that with a book too? You get a new book and you open it, which, by the way, I'll show you something that I do with my books. Someone was asking me to do a video on the top 10 books, and I haven't done that yet, but this would be on the list. And I'm sorry if it's mirrored, but it's Practicing the Way. But something that I learned a long time ago to do with a book before you start reading is just open it to the middle and press it down, and then go both directions and just take a few pages and like flatten it out. And where I learned this was a guy that was trying to teach you how to do like speed reading, which I never could figure out, I never could do. But now every time I get a brand new book, I open it and I do this, just because as you're reading it, it just makes it a little bit, better. But, you get a book, you smell it. There's just something about that smell of paper that I enjoy. I bought the pocket notebook from Murdy Leather through your link. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. The only gripe I have about the Murdy, I'll grab mine. The only gripe I have is it's this little loop that the pen goes through. When I'm writing, my hand hits this, and I don't care for that. and I'm sure I could flatten it out and stuff. But as far as aesthetics, it's very, very nice. They put your name or whatever you want on there. Just really good quality leather, smells good. I'm getting more and more leather stuff. I should be getting a new Saddleback bag, hopefully this week, that I'll be having to make a video about and show y'all. Sorry, my throat is dry. Hi, Carsonial. Do you use your journal to unload your brain at night before sleep? Also, how many journals do you use? I don't want to mix my daily journal with Bible study notes. So what I do, and I discussed this in the organized life method, I mainly just have 2 journals that I use. And so what that looks like for me is I have an A5 size, which is where I keep, you know, like my calendar in the front. And then after that is just where I put in my daily journal entries, like what happened that day. If like this morning, Sunday, I'm at church, and so I put my notes in there, just you know, day after day after day, it's just notes. That's kind of my main thing. I do try to come in here in my office and write a little bit at the end of the day. And then the pocket notebook, you know, is just kind of like a week at a glance, that little habit tracker. And it's just something easy to take with you on the go. That's my main setup. Those are my main 2 notebooks. Now, that's not to say that I don't use other notebooks for other things, because I do. I have, you know, like this YouTube channel. I have a little pocket notebook that I'll use to, like, you know, make video title ideas, or if I'm working on making a new course or something, I keep all that in like a project, little moleskin kind of A5 size notebook. But to answer your question, I mainly use that, this one is a field notes. It's just got a leather cover on it. So I use a field notes for the pocket notebook, and then this Leuchtturm with a leather cover for the daily journaling. But what I try and do for my routine is in the morning and then in the evening. That's not to say I don't write during the day, but that's usually, yeah, how I hit it. So I will unload my brain, as you said, at night before bed. But a lot of times, everybody's a little bit different. Like my creative times are either really early in the morning or late at night. In the afternoon, I'm worthless. I don't know what to do with myself in the afternoons. But I try to use the morning or evening as those creative times for writing, for brainstorming, things like that. Hi from South Florida. Hello, Roger. Yeah, these leather covers smell good. And what's cool about like putting them in that Saddleback bag is even things that aren't leather that I put in there start to smell like leather. Like I pulled a little moleskin pocket notebook out of my Saddleback bag, and I was smelling it because it smelled like leather just from being in that bag. Fairy asks, can you pray for me in the spirit? Yes, we can do that. So any other notebook questions or requests or things that you would like to know? I had another company that was wanting to send me a new leather cover to try out. It's just a little Amazon one. I don't know if I'll do that or not, because I really like these ones that Brad makes, which he actually makes one for the one that I use on my pocket notebook that I love so much. He actually makes one for the A5 too. So I'll have to remember to put a link for that. He sells these on Etsy. He's a pastor. Good grief, I always forget if it's North Carolina or South Carolina, but I think it's North Carolina. He's a pastor. He makes these leather products and puts them on Etsy. He does things other than the journal covers. He does wallets and all kinds of different things. But yeah, it's probably time that I make a new pocket notebook video comparing them all, because I've gotten some new ones, and I've got quite a few leather. I even had one viewer made me a really nice leather cover, like just made it for me. He doesn't sell them. He should, or maybe he does now, but just really, really good craftsmanship. And I never used to use the leather covers at all. And then I started, and now I'm like, I want a leather cover on all of them. This is that new one that Saddleback made. It's really nice, that Italian leather one. And I appreciate how they put the pin holder at the top on that. That's pretty cool. But these, oh yeah, these smell really good. It's the exact same leather on my big travel duffel from Saddleback Leather. Same color, matches. It's a lot lighter than these ones, like compared to the one, you know, Brad made, or compared to this hide and drink one that I usually use. It's a lot lighter, but it's like a very elegant, fancy leather. Yeah, their products are really good. I know Saddleback, if you're interested in their stuff, they were out of a lot of things. And I saw an email just a day or two ago that they have restocked. So if you've been waiting on a bag or a journal cover or something that was out of stock, they now have everything fully stocked. And I'll put a link for Saddleback too. They do a thing called Dave's Deals. Dave's the owner. They're over by Fort Worth, Texas. And Dave's Deals is nice because if they get a product and it has like a little nick in it or a little flaw, they'll sell it at a big discount. So you can get, you know, their stuff's not cheap, but it's really good stuff. Like, it's stuff that's going to be well made and last. I've seen one video on YouTube that you can look up where this guy basically takes stuff apart. He takes leather handbags and purses and things like that apart. And when he did one on the Saddleback bag, he said that it was the most difficult bag that he's ever taken apart because of how durable and well made that it was. But the Dave's Deals, I'll make a note to put a link for Saddleback. Dave's Deals, you can find a deal. And there's a women's link too. His wife, I can't remember her name, but she has deals where you can get, you know, like seconds on purses and stuff. They do have nice products. All right, let me look at these other questions. What state are you in? Are you single? I am married and I am in Texas. I live in West Texas. I'm 44, I have a couple teenage kids, stepdaughter, and a grandbaby. I've used paper notebooks for years and accumulated a lot of data points, tasks, ideas, etc. How do you deal with the built-up backlog of paper notes? I don't know if I have. Let me read your question again. I actually will tell you what I have done in the past, because I have what I call project notebooks, okay? That's what this is. And I have almost completely filled this one up in the last, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months. When I get done with a project notebook, as you've said, there's a lot of things in it that really I want to carry on. I don't want to forget about. And with, you know, all these pages, you can easily lose track. I mean, good grief. You know, you can easily lose track of something important. So usually what I'll do, and maybe this will help you, is when I finish one of these, what I call project notebooks, where it's just got a lot of brain dumps, ideas, data points, if you will, what I'll do when I fill it up, which this one only has, I don't know, 2 or 3 pages left in it probably, I will go back through the whole thing, and anything that really sticks out, I will transfer into my new one. So like right now, Let me grab this. I think it's this one. So this is the moleskin that I just finished, okay? This is a little Leuchtturm B6, and it's empty and it's ready to go. The reason I haven't used this one yet is because Leuchtturm unfortunately started making their ink really super dark on the grid paper, which I hate. Leuchtturm, fix this, make it light again. And so I haven't used this one yet, but this will be my next project notebook. So what I'll do is I'll read back through all my notes, even like online courses that I've taken, notes that I've taken on YouTube videos, podcasts, things like that. And I will take the most important things and I will transfer them over into this. So I'll either put them like in the first page or maybe even at the very end of the notebook. Just so as I'm continuing on this brainstorming or project or whatever it is that you're working on, the things that really you want to hold on to, that's just what I've done in the past. I will just transfer them over into the next project notebook at the beginning or the end, the things that, that I want to remember and hold on to. Someone else is asking if you single, what state? No, I am not single and I'm in Texas. One big satanic club. Reps Dems Zionist. I don't know what to say to that, dude. I am Christian, not satanic. I think it's just a spam. That comment's in there like thrice. Yeah, I think we're getting spammed. Would you marry a second person? No, I'm not a Mormon. Their pocket notebook is a little taller than the moleskin. I think it is. I'll show you. Get the two soft covers. So I'll hold up a moleskin and a Leuchtturm just to show you. The Leuchtturm is just a touch taller. Which, you know how it is. Leuchtturm, their paper is going to be a little better quality, but I actually really like moleskin paper. To me, it just feels more papery. It just feels more like paper when you're writing on it. But yeah, you do get a little bit taller one with Leuchtturm. You also get two ribbons there instead of just one. I always cut them because they make them super long. So like you can see there, I've cut them short and then I just take a lighter and burn the bottoms. But I gotta have, notebooks everywhere. Just got the Lockbee pocket, just trying to figure it out. Yeah, Lockbee sent me, I've got their little zipper case. What I liked about Lockbee is I don't really use the zipper case, but the notebook, the Lockbee notebook is Tomoe River paper, and I loved it. I loved their pocket notebook. I just personally don't have a use for the zipper case. I know it's kind of a EDC, everyday carry thing, because you can put stuff in the little, you can put like a pen, you can put a knife, it's got a pocket in the back. It's cool. It's just not really for me, but they do make nice products and nice things. I like the smaller better, yeah. How you guys make money online these days? You can, you start a YouTube. You don't make much, I mean, but you can get like, if you have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, you can turn on monetization, which basically means, you know how YouTube plays ads on the videos, and they do it whether you get paid or not, but like you get like a tiny fraction of the ad revenue that for the ads that play on your videos is kind of how that works. Yeah, I think some of these comments were just getting spammed. So no one really had any thoughts on the whole Chick-fil-A Mandela effect. I still don't think it had a K in it, but I don't know. Any other questions before I take my wife to the new Burlington Coat Factory down the road? Spain world champions. Did they win? 6-7. My kids are in that age where I get to hear about 6-7. They actually wanted me to start a YouTube channel about like our family, like just filming funny things that happen. So my son, he's all into these electric dirt bikes, and so we actually did make a separate YouTube channel for his dirt bike stuff. And I was looking at the comments one day, and some kid made a comment, because I was in one of the videos, and it said, W dad, you're a W dad, or something like that. And I was like, I have no idea. I mean, I'm 44 years old. I don't know all the teen slang these days. And so I was like, what is a W dad? And I had to like Google it, but it means like, it's a good thing. And so I was like, okay, cool, I'll take it. I guess it's like a win, you know, like you're a cool dad or whatever. 6-7. The World Cup, I didn't even know. I was just telling my wife last night, I'm in Texas. I like to watch football and golf. And I don't watch either one very often. I never knew that the World Cup and the soccer stuff was such a big deal. Like until this year, I'm like, this is America. What are we doing watching soccer? Thanks for sharing so much of your knowledge and experience in your journey. Yes, thank you. I'm trying to just be a little more, relaxed or whatever on camera. I mean, heck, I've been doing this for 2 years, and I feel like I'm just now able to kind of relax, open up a little bit, share a little bit about, family stuff. I've shared in the past about how, I struggled with alcohol and all that kind of stuff, share about my faith. And I'm just a dude in Texas that likes, using notebooks. They've helped me a lot in my life. And, when I first started YouTube, I thought I was going to talk about all kinds of different things. And the notebook thing is kind of what stuck, and it's just kind of where I've stayed. Anytime I've tried to branch out into other things that are more specifically focused on personal development, they don't really get the traction, but I still try and do them because I know a lot of you out there are interested in the personal development stuff. Yes, the term W means good or great. So yeah, I'm a W dad. So I thought about making a YouTube channel called the W Dad, and we just film shenanigans that we do and stuff, but I don't know. Soccer is bigger than American football. W dad, LOL. Yeah, I couldn't tell you, I can't even name 5 NFL players, let alone soccer players. I know there's the one guy, Messi or whatever, but like, I don't care. I'm convinced that sports is another distraction. It's a created thing to sedate or distract the masses. I hate grabbing my phone for everything. And it's hard not to. It's hard not to grab your phone for everything because it does so much. Have you ever used the leather journal covers from Murdy Creative? Yes, we were just talking about that earlier. Where did I put it? I have it here on my pile of notebooks somewhere. I've got their little pocket one, and it is very nice. They give you the Parker Jotter pen with it. This is the only product I've ever had from Murdy, and I bought this with my own money. They didn't send me this or anything. But what I was saying is I really do like it. But there's actually 2 things I don't like that I wish they would change. I don't like that you have to screw in a new notebook. So like it comes with just kind of a standard pocket notebook. I took it out. I drilled 2 little holes in a moleskin so I could put a moleskin with the grid paper, but that's how it attaches. See, like it screws in, and it's just kind of weird. The other thing that I don't really care for is when you're writing, you've got these 2 loops, which is where the pen goes through. And so I'm right-handed, and so when I'm writing, trying to get this to where it'll show. If I'm writing on the right page, like my hand is hitting these these loops right here. But they use high quality leather. They give you a nice Parker Jotter pen with it. Close this up. I really like how they customize it. You know, they'll put, and I know this is probably backwards for you because I'm on my phone, but they'll put your name or logo or whatever on it. They're cool. I like supporting smaller companies. I've had other companies besides Saddleback that see my Saddleback videos and they want to like send me belts or whatever, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna just stick with Saddleback. They're in Texas, I'm in Texas. I admire what they do and their products. I use their products. You have a notebook ministry? You know, is it Jelaine? Jelaine? That's funny that you say that, because I was thinking, like, I struggle sometimes too with like my purpose, because I feel that I am called to, I've done ministry before, and it's like, what is my thing? What is my thing on YouTube? You know, like, am I really just supposed to talk about notebooks? But I think that, you know, even though we're using, a notebook is just the tool. You know, what we're doing with the notebook is so much bigger, and it's something that a lot of people don't take the time to do, to document important things in their life. I don't like the screw version. I did buy a few of the ones with the metal bar that goes down the middle. I've seen those. I know what you're talking about, to hold the soft cover notebook. And maybe that's one I should try, because I do remember they have the one where, yeah, instead of screwing in the notebook from the back on the spine, it just has a nice metal bar that holds through the middle of the notebook. What would your mother say about it? I don't know what you're talking about. I think that's spam. It's helping people escape enslavement of the smartphone. Yeah, and you know, I was saying earlier that I got stuck yesterday. There's two apps on my phone that I rarely use, TikTok and Instagram. I have an Instagram, but I never use it. But it's like when you get on either one of those, I'm stuck. Like I'm stuck for a long time, and they're designed to do that. And you know, my kids have these phones now, and I have it set up to where if they want an app, I have to approve it. And you know, sometimes I think they probably get frustrated that there's certain apps that I won't let them have, and it's like, you know, I'm not going to give them the whole speech about, well, I didn't grow up with a smartphone and yada yada. Like, it's just a different time. It's 2026. I understand that technology, things are different now, but like, it's sad to me, like today after church, we went and ate barbecue, and there was a table, and you know, there was this girl sitting, I call them iPad kids, and they're just, you know, they're just lost in something that I mentioned in the analog reset, which if you are struggling with technology or doom scrolling or being on your phone too much, I recommend that you go through the analog reset. I've got a coupon right now that'll save you 20% on it. The coupon code is just the word consistent in all caps. But one thing that I say in the analog reset is that I gotta think about what it said. People's good grief. People's real lives, or people's digital lives. It's been a long day. What did I say? Okay, this is what it is. People's real lives are getting in the way of their digital life, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But it's like people get so into this phone, into their fake digital world, where they're creating a false reality, that it's becoming a distraction to real life. You know, you see it everywhere you go. You see a whole family is sitting at dinner and they're all on phones, and it's like, you're with people in real life. You don't have to be on your phone in a fake world. Enjoy being in the real world. And that's what I talk about in the analog reset, is getting away from that and getting into more of using a notebook. I think I missed a question. I deleted Facebook completely off my phone. Probably not a bad thing. Are field notes really worth it? Yeah. I mean, think about this. I'll pull it up and see fieldnotesbrand.com. So like a pack, you get pack of 3, right? Let me just pull one up. It's $13. $13 for a pack of 3. The way that I do this, like I was just setting up my pocket notebook for the week. I know that's probably backwards for y'all, but if you just do one a page, you know, you got 48 pages. Like, people are weird. People will spend $7 on a Starbucks, but then tell me that buying 3 notebooks that'll last me half a year to a year is a ripoff. And it's just perspective. To me, I get way more than $13 worth of value out of 3 filled notes. You know, like, in other words, the value that I get from using the filled notes throughout the year is going to be worth way more than 13 or, you know, 26 bucks for the year. I will spend $12.95 on some quesadillas right now, and that only lasts me about 10 minutes. So yes, you can go to the Dollar Tree and you can get a 3-pack for $1.25, and they will do this same job. They're just smaller, but you can get the job done. So it doesn't matter if you spend $1 or if you buy a $100 notebook. The important thing is that you're just doing something that's helping you be organized, productive, you know, efficient, tracking things that are important to you, growing personally, spiritually. So to me, yeah, I love field notes. I like the way they feel. The moleskin version are a little nicer because the side is sewn. I'll grab one and show you, because all the field notes are going to have staples. But if you're wanting a little bit nicer quality, the moleskin version, basically, of the field notes, the Kaye, however you want to say it, it's got the sewn as opposed to just being stapled in. So I love field notes. Again, it kind of comes back to supporting smaller business. I like using them. I recommend them. It's where you place your priorities. Exactly. I want the national parks, but they seem too nice to use. Well, I'll just grab a few here and show you. They've got some new ones. I've also got a coupon code, I think, yeah, for field notes. So when this is done, I'll try and put all these links that'll save you money if you want to order this stuff. But I really like the national park ones. I don't think they have these white ones anymore, but I really liked those too. But while I have a leather cover on them, I didn't always use a leather cover, because usually I would just throw these in my bag or my pocket, and they look nice. So I understand, like, if you don't want to use them because they're nice, but the way I look at it is you just get a nice notebook to look at while you're using it. So it just makes the experience a little nicer, as opposed to, you know, just a solid color or the plain brown ones. But, you know, the insides are all the same. But I think they just released a new one. It's kind of a watery looking one, but they're a cool company. They got some nice stuff. They even have one that's kind of a B6 size that I've used before that's really nice. And, you know, if you want to see more stuff like that in videos, I'm always looking for new video ideas. Sometimes I'm just like, what else can I say about notebooks, you know? And I get kind of stuck, and I'm like, what do you want to know? What do you want to learn? Maybe I'm overthinking because I'm an overthinker. What is some of your favorite YouTubers? Ah, great question. Let me pull up my YouTube and I'll tell you. I have several YouTube accounts. Are you meaning like just in general or like specific to notebooks? If you're talking about notebook stuff, I kind of watch other people's stuff. I'll tell you who I like because he's just real authentic is Gare the Bear. He's a young kid, Gare the Bear. And he loves field notes. He's just a kind of a goofy guy that's just being real on camera, you know, and that's what I think everybody should do, and that's what I try and do, is just be myself. I had someone getting nasty that, you know, I was talking about God or my faith, and it's like, well, I'm not making anybody watch. Like, you can watch or not watch. Rachel in Theory kind of wears me out. She's got good stuff, but let me pull up my channel list, and I'll tell you. That Resu guy is pretty good. He had that video showing the habit tracker that had like over 1 million or 2 million views. I used to watch Gabe Bolt a lot, but now his content seems kind of repetitive. Like I feel like he's kind of running out of ideas too. Like there's only so much you can say about minimalism, but he's also kind of shifted into helping people start their own YouTube channels. I'll tell you, one of my favorite guys to listen to is Omar Eltek Rory. He used to be part of Think Media. He's just a good Christian dude. He's grown a really good business for himself. I'm trying to see who else. Oh, go check out Redeeming Productivity. His name is Reagan, and a lot of you may already be familiar with him, but Redeeming Productivity, he talks about productivity from a biblical worldview. He's really good. Let me see who else pops up here. I've got the bullet journal. You know, some of this stuff I just kind of like watch them to get ideas for thumbnails and stuff, because I'm not great with making thumbnails and stuff. What's funny about thumbnails is like when I when I keep the thumbnails pictures of notebooks, they do really good. If I put my face in the thumbnail, I'm only getting like 100 views. It's just kind of funny. One of my favorite non-notebook YouTube stuff to listen to is Blurry Creatures. I used to just listen to their podcast, but now they're on YouTube. You can watch them. And they started out, it's a couple Christian guys, and they started out just talking about Bigfoot. And now they interview all kinds of interesting people talking about all the things that you don't hear about at church that are real, that are interesting, whether you want to call them conspiracy theories or just the deeper things of the Bible that, like I say, you're not learning in church, like about the Nephilim or what are aliens and all this kind of stuff. They interview all kinds of neat people. Blurry Creatures, they're worth checking out as well. If I didn't know Jesus, I wouldn't know the devil. Notebook reviews are great. One of my favorite YouTubers is Hemingway Jones. I've come across him before, Pens and Journals. I just got started watching Gare the Bear. Yeah, he's just a legit dude. I prefer pens over pencils. It's not that I'm opposed to pencils. It's just that I prefer the way the pen feels on the paper as opposed to a pencil. I use Walmart Pen and Gear 3-pack for around $2. I've had those before. Yeah, they're sewn binding and fountain pen friendly. Most of the Pen and Gear paper in front Vietnam, which is great stuff. Yeah, I've heard, you're not the first one to say that, David. I've had other people mention the Pen and Gear and that they like it, and that's great. My Walmart had a moleskin section for a while, and then it was only like there for a short while, and then it disappeared. So I've actually found some pretty interesting things at Walmart. I've still got one of them. I'll show you. It was probably a long time ago where I made this video, but tell me, have you ever seen these at Walmart? I don't think they have them anymore, but it's a whole 12-pack And I want to say at the time that this was like $4 or $5. And this is all it is. Like, it's got on one side, it's got a daily goal, daily priorities, and then it says morning, afternoon, and evening. The other side is just a blank page. And so the reason they made these is you can have one for every month. Just one color for every month. I don't know if this was Pin and Gear. Yeah, Pin and Gear. And all kinds of nice colors, some of which are quite girly and I wouldn't be using. Like, for example, probably not using this bad boy or the purple, but that was a good Walmart find. And I'll tell you another place to check for good deals on notebooks is Marshall's. You know, like that Marshall's has the home goods side of the store, and sometimes you can find higher quality notebooks in there, or like TJ Maxx. They just opened up this new strip kind of close to where I live, so we were going to go check that out tonight because there was a new Burlington and Ross and stuff like that. So I don't know if they'll have any notebooks, but we'll check and see. I saw something similar at Staples for a lot more than $5. Yeah, Walmart's going to be cheap. Walmart's just going to track you. Have you seen all this stuff with the digital? Oh, what were we watching yesterday? Not just the digital prices that change in real time, but it's just all the face tracking. I was going down the flock camera rabbit hole, and one thing leads to another. You know how it does on YouTube. I watched Gare the Bear when he started with Pin and Gear pocket notebooks and he put the tape on them to make them last longer. I remember that. Let me see if there's anybody else I should mention that pops up on my YouTube here. Here's the deal, is a lot of the journaling and notebook stuff out there is women. There are some dudes, you know, Park Notes. He's got a lot of subscribers now. And I have kind of mixed feelings about Park Notes, but some of his stuff is pretty good. Let's see what else pops up here. Oh, Clark Kegley, you know, he's got like 2 million subscribers. He has a lot of journaling stuff, but just be careful with him because some of his older videos they're full of like new age nonsense. Carl Pullen, I'm not sure how you say it. He's got a real strong British accent. He wrote a book called Your Time, Your Way. He talks a lot about productivity. I like to listen to him just because he's got a nice British accent. Let's see. The Sterling Ink girl, she makes some nice notebooks. See if there's any more that pop up here. A lot of these don't really have anything to do with journaling and stuff. But I've been seeing on YouTube a lot of new faces, new channels getting started where they're talking about notebooks and journaling and different things. It's just funny, like there's so many different things on YouTube. Like you can literally find a YouTube channel about anything and everything. A comment here says, I stock up on those calendar packs a few years ago and have 2 sets left. Yeah, they're cool. I had a leather one from White Birch Outfitters. Let me look that up. I'm not familiar. White Birch Outfitters. In Northern Michigan. Yeah, cool. I never heard of them. My wife and I took a trip to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I filmed some footage of a store. They had some Leuchtturm notebooks that I'd never seen before. They're the real big ones, And I didn't buy one just because I wouldn't use that, but I'll have to include that like as B-roll in a video or something to show some of the things we found. Another notebook that I've come across that I want to buy that I haven't yet, what is it called? It's got the smaller squares. Help me out, people. It's thinner paper. Good grief. I can see the notebook. Anyway, it's like one of those Japanese brand. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on it, but I want to try the squares are the grid, I should say, the grid pattern. It's like 4 millimeter or 3. What's the normal? 5 millimeter? I can't remember. But the squares are smaller, but the paper's thinner, so you get a lot more pages. And I've been wanting to try that. I have seen the Karst stone paper notebooks. I've seen those at Barnes & Noble. I haven't bought one yet, haven't tried one yet, but I have been curious about them because they do look nice. Okay, Philip, so they went out of business. Let me just pull up Amazon. It's bothering me that I can't think. It's not Hobonichi. What's the other one? Probably not good for fountain pens. No. I need my wife to walk in here and tell me what it's called. Okay, here it is, Stalogy. I want to try the Stalogy notebook. And the more research I've done on them, you can even get them in a B6 size, which I'm really, really tempted to get it in a B6 size. They sell one here locally at the bookstore that's an A5. But yeah, I definitely want to get that one and try it out and make a video about it. I just haven't done it yet because I've still got that blank B6 from Leuchtturm I need to use up. Guys, I gotta go. I gotta go to the bathroom, and then I've got to go run to the store with my wife. So this has been fun. We'll have to do more of these live streams. Sorry about the mess up earlier. I was trying to do this live stream earlier. I had it scheduled, and for some reason, YouTube would not let me stream. It would not show me. It wouldn't stream. And so that's why we're on mobile here. I just put my camera on. So, A6. Yep, gotta go. I gotta pee. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.